Hello everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to the Oklahoma News Report. I'm Rich Lenz. In this special edition of O&R, we'll look back at the stories that changed Oklahoma in 2019. We begin with Ed Murray's report on Governor Kevin Stitt's impact since the Jenks businessman took over as the state's CEO last January.
I, J. Kevin Stitt, do solemnly swear.
I, J. Kevin Stitt, do solemnly swear.
On January 14th, Tulsa businessman and first-time politician Kevin Stitt took the oath of office, becoming Oklahoma's 28th governor.
And as I begin serving today as your next governor, let me tell you where Oklahoma's turnaround starts for me: accountability. It starts today by demanding accountability in our state government. In this administration, we're going to get to the bottom of every tax dollar spent. We're going to ensure every dollar matches the values and visions of Oklahoma becoming a top 10 state.
In early March, Senate Bill 1 created the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency, or LOFT, a legislative budget watchdog, if you will.
The fact that it's something that is going to help all legislators do their jobs, agencies more accountability, and taxpayers to see the transparency in their tax dollars. Great step forward.
And lawmakers changed the power to hire and fire state agency directors from boards to the governor. Stitt told O&R during a post-session visit he's ready to dig in.
Early on in early March, they gave me the authority to run the top 5 state agencies. And now it is on me to make sure that those are run efficiently and effectively.
Another measure that flew quickly to the governor's desk: permitless gun carry.
It just kind of was coincidence that was the first bill that hit my desk, but it came out of the House, the Senate, and about 15 other states have similar legislation, and so I was excited to sign it.
The budget process, as usual, took the entire session and hit a late snag, pitting the governor and House against the Senate. But after a little finger-pointing, a deal was reached on an $8.3 billion budget.
Every year, we stand up here and we come to an agreement. There's always a little bit of turbulence before a safe landing. There was never a doubt of a safe landing.
Delivered another pay raise to the teachers for the first time in state history. 2 years in a row, we got pay raises to all of our wonderful teachers. Also, I wanted to give more money into the classroom, so we gave another $74 million to the superintendents, the school boards, so they can spend that money how they need to.
There was also much debate over the governor's successful demand to take $200 million of available dollars and put it into savings.
Saving money is a great idea for the future when you don't have bills to pay. We have bills to pay. We're behind. We are not competing regionally in the amount we're investing in our classroom.
I feel like it's my job as governor to make sure we don't cut core services because we know at some point in the future we're going to have a downturn. So I had to stabilize our savings account, and I was very hard-lined on that.
Another priority: criminal justice. Reform had plenty of early momentum.
And reclassify all drug offenses, all low-level drug offenses and property offenses from a felony to a misdemeanor for all Oklahomans.
But it nearly ran out of gas by session's end.
There were some lobbyists that came in and were kind of gumming up the whole deal, and nothing was going to get passed. So I had to step in, bring the House, the Senate together, and say, we've got to get this across the finish line. And so it was the last day of session. We got that Retro 780 bill done.
That bill would eventually lead to the largest single-day release of prisoners in U.S. history, but not before workshops were held in every state prison to prepare the inmates for release. First Lady Sarah Stitt taking an active role.
The DOC has been working night and day to make sure that the proper people are being released, but also that they're connecting them with the right opportunities. We don't want to just release them and say, there you go, have a happy life.
It was also about this time that the First Lady opened up to our content partner, Oklahoma Watch, about her personal platform, mental health.
I personally have lived with mental health issues in my family. Both my parents have pretty severe mental health issues. My mother's spawns from a childhood of abuse, and as a teenager she got involved in drugs, trying to kind of self-medicate and different things. She had a very troubled life before she met my dad, so my entire childhood was riddled with things we didn't understand, because back then you didn't talk about those things.
Thank you. Thank you for this so much.
Absolutely.
The First Lady stood with the governor on November 4th for the first release under Retro 780, knocking Oklahoma out of the top spot for incarceration.
You know, we were number one in something we shouldn't have been. And so I'm excited to lead Oklahoma through this. We're going to have 2,000 empty beds by the end of this year.
Passing the retroactive application of State Question 780 was a bipartisan effort, and that was a welcome thing after the last few sessions.
Working with Pro Tem Treat was productive. We had a lot of productive discussions. He was very respectful of our views. Of course, he and I don't agree on very many things, but policy-wise, but we were able to work well together.
We've changed the tone. We've worked together very, very closely with not only the House and the Senate, but also across the party lines. And I've just had a great time being the governor and getting to know everybody and working in the system. It's gone fantastic.
But the governor has been at odds with the tribal government since July with his call for a new gaming compact through a Tulsa World op-ed, a move that surprised and upset tribal leaders.
There was no outreach before Governor Stitt sent his letter dated July 5. There was no outreach before the Tulsa World editorial ran on July 8.
By year's end, the dispute had become a series of dueling press conferences.
This compact shall have a term which will expire on January 1st, 2020. These compacts expire.
I know he read the first couple of lines to everyone, but he failed to read the entire paragraph, that all the triggers for automatic renewal have been met.
This is going to cause extreme uncertainty if we don't have a new compact before January 1st, 2020.
The only uncertainty is that which is coming out of his office.
We were asked to present our plan, and the state was kicked out of that meeting before we could present our plan.
Tribal leadership has been clear from the beginning. If he acknowledges auto renewal, we'll sit down and negotiate with him.
Contrary to what the TV commercials and some of the newspapers are reporting, the tribes are not united on this issue.
We've had no less than 30 tribal leaders sign on to every letter we've sent back to the state. They've been unified in their position.
And around we go, every evolving story. Where do we stand right now?
Right about where most observers thought we would be, in federal court. The Cherokee, Chickasaw, and Choctaw Nations filed a lawsuit on New Year's Eve seeking a judgment on that shall automatically renew wording in the compact. And today, the governor announced a law firm out of Seattle will assist the state. Now, this firm successfully represented New Mexico in a gaming compact dispute in 2015. As we sit here, Rich, casinos open for business.
Thank you.